That was Raf, ASAP Mob with ASAP Rocky, Playboy Carti, Quavo, Lil Uzi Vert, and Frank Ocean. It is 21 minutes after midday. You are listening to Toolz on the Midday Show, and I have got a guest with me in the studio. He is going to tell me all about Younix, and his name is Jonathan
Majin.
Yeah, Jonathan Majin. Okay, Jonathan Majin. Welcome. Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, so what is Younix? What is Younix?
Younix is a lot of things, but just to narrow it down so that it's more simple and relatable for everyone to understand, it's a sports app that bridges the gap between recreation and sports. So ideally what it is it gives people an opportunity to have a platform that handles everything to do with recreational sports.
And who started Younix? And what was the main objective? Is the main objective what you just talked about, or was it something different?
So initially it's because I have a sporting background. I went to school in America.
So you started it, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to America on a soccer scholarship, so I've always had a sporting background, and being in America, I saw that the sporting infrastructure was a lot more developed in that country. Mm-hmm. And I tried to find ways to emulate that in Nigeria. So, for example, in Nigeria, when the national team, for example, is playing, that is an event that brings people together to watch. But ideally, there are a lot of other people who are interested in football. So, what we are trying to create is a culture where there are sporting events every week that bring people together.
Okay, so just creating awareness about those sporting events, so letting people know.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do you use Younix?
You go on the App Store, the Google Play Store, or on the internet to find the website. You search up Younix, that's Younix. You download it and you're ready to go.
So now that you've downloaded it, how do you go about using it?
So it depends on what you want to do, ideally. So if, for example, I'm not interested in playing sports, but I'm looking for events to attend, I click on the events tab and it shows me the events with the timestamps on what people want to go and watch. If I want to organize a sporting event, say for my co-workers and myself, I go to the book tab. It will show me the facilities and what times they're available for me to book a time slot. If I also have just finished playing a game and I want to discuss the game or maybe do some voting on who was the man of the match, that's also available under the timeline tab.
Okay, so for example, if you're working at a company and you want to arrange like a five-a-side for the guys, so you would go to the booking.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd go to the booking and it will show you the different facilities available. Is it in Lagos or in Nigeria?
In Lagos.
In Lagos.
And it's there's a GPS monitor on the app, so it shows you how far away the facilities are from you. So ideally, what you should look to do is find the one that's closest to you and see if they have available times and move your way up.
Okay, so will it give you the option to put your address or a certain area? So how will it work? How do you make sure
the app? You'd need to give the app access to your location.
Okay, right.
So based on your location, it will then determine which is the closest to you for you to go there and play with your friends.
Right. So Younix, is it for all sorts of sporting activities, or do you just focus on certain sports?
So right now we're starting with football because that's the biggest sport in the country right now. But eventually you would be seeing us go into other sports.
Okay.
Also health and fitness is one area we're going to go into in the near future.
Is that in the next few months or the next
I can't
weeks?
tell you that.
You're not sure. All right. So tell me a bit more about what Younix can do with regards to for the football fans. So if you are a fan of football, so maybe if you like watching it, what can you get with Younix? And let's say you're a fan of football, you love playing, you want to find out, okay, I'd love to play on a Saturday or a Sunday, where can I play? So give us what you can do with if you're a fan or if you want to actually play football.
Alright, so being a fan from the outwards in, we also have a news tab where we cover international news as well as local news. So one of the goals we have for this app long term is to promote Nigerian sport. So for example, I grew up in Nigeria and I couldn't tell you any of the players in the Nigerian Premier League. And that's because
so like what Bukola I don't like. I have to be honest. I'm not the biggest football fan, but you know, I do know one or two of the teams.
But you would know international players, right? Like if I said Messi or Ronaldo, you would know, or David Beckham.
Yes, because everybody knows David Beckham because I think it's a little bit different. They are on a global you know level. Platform, and everybody knows Messi. Everybody knows, you know, this person. But I do agree, we definitely need to do more work with our players, our local teams as well. So do you think that more people would attend these games if they knew about them?
Yeah, I feel like it's not. So to a certain level, it's not necessarily incentivized for you to go to maybe a Nigerian Premier League game because one, you might not know about it, and two, you think, well, I don't know any of the players anyway, so why would I go? So ideally, in order to generate the buzz around the sport, you would need to create incentives for people to go. People need to know where to go, and they also need to know that their friends are going. So one thing that the app will be able to do is eventually people would be able to buy tickets on the app. And we will also do a lot of free giveaways to just promote the brand of sports in Nigeria. And what you do by creating more value is you actually put more money into the sport. So you're giving the players better lifestyles by us attending those events. It generates more revenue for the teams. The players can be well off. And then because there's more money in it, people will be more willing to actually try to play in those leagues.
So essentially, Younix is supposed to be a what's happening app.
Exactly.
What's happening in sports app.
Exactly.
For Lagos for now.
Yes, Lagos for now.
All right. Basketball is something you should definitely look into. I think basketball, especially with
my sister told me that too.
Yeah, especially with is it the African Basketball League? I think that could be wrong. That Sound Sultan is pushing. That was pretty big. When it actually first started, a lot of people were attending just because it was, you know, a nice
something
thing
different.
something nice to go to with your friends. And I went a few times as well, and I had lots of fun. So basketball,
I mean, ideally,
definitely.
Younix as well, we're going to be bringing our own sponsored events too. And what we try to create is for those sponsored events is not just football events, but a fun day. So ideally, we'd like to have some nice food there, some other people who might want to sell their clothes. So it's an experience for everyone, not just going there to watch football, but a fun day altogether for everyone who might be involved.
Okay, so Younix is basically a what's happening in sports in Lagos.
Okay.
Do you mind, personal question, do you mind if I ask how old you are? Because you just said something about college.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that you're, 20-something?
Yeah, correct.
20...
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Look, you're not that old that you need to start lying by your age. So 20, 26, 25, 26.
You're close.
This guy, just tell me. No, because I think it's remarkable that, you know, you obviously saw something while you were away and you figured, okay, that this is something that would definitely work in Nigeria, and you decided to create an app. So that is actually why I want to know, because, you know, obviously you're still very young, and I think it's fantastic that you actually had an idea, you went through with it, you did your research, and you have now created an app that could very well be something that's, you know, massive in the near future. So that's actually why I'm asking. We have a lot of young listeners. We have a lot of people that have ideas that sometimes think, okay, well, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do that. So I actually wanted to know, so you could tell our lovely listeners, our young listeners that may have, you know, ideas about apps themselves, or, you know, budding entrepreneurs. Why did you decide to pursue this?
So in terms of why we started this is because one thing you always try to accomplish as an entrepreneur is to add value to society. So being a football player all my life, I knew the gaps that were missing in Nigeria, and especially being exposed to more developed systems. So we always had the idea of, imagine if we had this. You know, people always have good ideas, whether it be just in your living room or you being in your shower or whatever. You're always going to have good ideas, but the hard part is actually executing those ideas and trying to make them become a reality. It actually took a while for us to put the whole product together. So my advice would just be, whatever idea you have, whatever you're working on. Just try to begin and try to progress every day. That's what we did, and that's how we got to this point.
Now, the question that I imagine some of our listeners, the question that's banging in their heads is funding. How did you sort out funding for this? Because you did have to do some research, of course.
Yeah.
And how did you get funding for developing this app?
So initially I started it on my own, and as I needed more funding, I brought more people in. So people who came with a certain amount of funding until we could reach the agreed amounts that we'd need to develop the app. And then we worked on another stage of fundraising for marketing.
Okay. So you put together a presentation, you went to see different people?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. We had a few angel investors also.
Okay. Do you have any big brands that you're working with or talking to? Any big brands that want to
not in terms of necessarily sponsorships, but in terms of partnerships. So, for example, we've partnered with Fun Turf, we've partnered with Greenfield Turf. So these are some of the turfs that are on the app that you can go and book. We've partnered also with some events, Copa Lagos events, TNF Lagos. These are just some. The biggest one is probably Copa Lagos, the beach soccer tournament every Christmas about. And so what we do is we use our platform to also sell some tickets for them, and they also do some advertising. So it's a quid pro quo.
Okay, well done. Really, really good. All right, so where can we go? Where do we go to get more information about your app, Younix?
We're on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just put in Younix app, and there will be.
And that's Younix.
Yes.
App. Okay. Why Younix? Why Younix? Why the name Younix?
Sounds really cool.
That's just because of that.
Literally that.
Okay.
Literally that.
Okay, that's good. All right. So what's next for Younix? So what's going to be happening in the next sort of few months, next year or so?
So we have a few. Looking a bit more long term, we're gonna have a big launch event December. But before that, we're gonna have a few build-up events to get the brand out there and get people more aware about it. So in the near future, you're gonna hear about a FIFA tournament we're gonna have. You're gonna hear about one-day special five-a-side tournament we're gonna have, which is gonna be on the City of David turf. Those are also one of our partners. It's gonna be up there, and there's more. I just can't say more than that.
Okay. No, well done. I think it's fantastic what you've done. I think, once again, the fact that you found a gap in the market and you came up with an idea and you pursued it, that's very, very good. Best of luck with everything. Now, is there something that we need to talk about that I haven't covered? Is there a question I missed?
No.
Anything else that...
You were fine.
Thank you very much. On my own show, come and tell me I'm fine. Well, I don't even know what to say. All right, thank you very much for stopping by.
No, you grasped the information really quickly.
I did okay. Yes, I've only been doing this for a few years. Thank you so much for stopping by. Do you want to say thank you to people that have supported you? You mentioned one or two angel investors, so do you want to say thank you to them?
Yeah,
do you want to say thank you to people
I would like to thank anyone and everyone who's been a support through this whole process. Like I said, it hasn't been easy to get to this point. I'd like to thank Samson Adamu. He's one of the people in charge of running Copa Lagos. He really helped me out in the beginning. And I'd like to thank all the partners who I have who are not here today. And finally, I'd like to thank my mother.
Okay, all right, that's nice, that's good. Well, like I said earlier, best of luck with everything. I really hope that this actually gets to be very big. I like the fact that you've thought about what people like to do recreationally, and you've thought about the ease of having all that information just on your phone, like literally just by going to one app. So well done, and best of luck with everything. I think that's pretty much it. Once again, if you want to get some more information, they are on Younix. You can find them on Twitter, twitter.com/Younix app. That's Younix. Instagram as well, instagram.com/Younix app, on YouTube, and also on Facebook. Thank you once again for stopping by. I will play.
Appreciate your time.
I will play this. I don't even know if that's supposed to be like a compliment or something. Very strange. Very strange person you are. This is Jay-Z, the story of OJ. It is 12:36. You're listening to Toolz on The Midday Show.